Finch lives with her brother Jim and their widowed father Atticus in Macomb, Alabama. The sleepy town of Macomb is suffering through the Great Depression, but the Finch family reasonably well off in comparison to the rest of the town. This probably sounds familiar to folks because it is from one of the most celebrated American classics. We're talking about To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. And this weekend, you can check out a live performance on stage at the Albuquerque Little Theater in collaboration with Mother Road Theater Company. And here with us this morning, Stacey Robbins, director of the play, along with Chris Atwood, who plays the iconic role of Atticus Finch, and Mackenzie Jarrell, who plays the iconic role of Scouts. So welcome, guys, bright and early. I know this is early for theater folks, so thanks for coming in. So, Stacey, we didn't talk about this at the last hour. I'm curious. So this is an adaptation of the book. How does this production vary from the Harper Lee novel?
Well, it's first and foremost, it's condensed because the novel is so long.
Be a long night in theater otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. And Christopher Sturgill, who wrote this adaptation, was actually is actually a very good friend of Harper Lee's.
Really? Okay.
And so this version was sort of given her blessing, to be able to be adapted for the stage. And he has said that he took some of his cues from the screenplay.
Really?
As far as condensing, storyline and including or excluding some characters because there just wasn't time.
Sure.
So that's really the way this one came about. But it was workshopped for quite a few years before it was ever, actually given a full production. And it wasn't until the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s before that happened. So.
Okay. Now, just very quickly, Mackenzie, Chris, these are celebrated characters. Do you feel a lot of pressure playing these roles, or is it just something that you're like, no, just another role?
We've done it so many times that we can get into our character. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That's good. That's the way it should be. And Chris, how about you?
I feel the pressure.
You feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gregory Peck made. I mean, when I tell people I'm doing this, that's the first word that comes out of their mouth. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that, but I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I just have not been watching the movie.
Yeah.
I've been staying away from that.
Stay away from it and create
finding it on my own. And
absolutely. Well, I think you guys have a little bit. We're going to get a sneak preview of the performance here. So let's see a little bit of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Atticus, do all lawyers defend Negroes?
They do.
Then why do the kids at school make it sound like you're doing something awful?
You're not old enough to understand some things yet, Scout. But there's been a lot of high talk around town that I shouldn't do much in defending Tom Robinson. But I'm gonna defend that man.
If they say you shouldn't, then why are you doing it?
Main reason? If I didn't, I couldn't hold my head up. I couldn't even tell you and Jim not to do something again.
You mean Jim and me wouldn't have to mind you anymore?
That's about right.
Why?
Because I could never ask you to mind me again. Every lawyer gets at least one case in his lifetime that affects him personally. I guess this one's mine.
Are we gonna win it?
No, honey.
Then why are you doing
Simply
it?
because we were licked 100 years before we started is no reason not to try to win.
You sound like some old Confederate veteran.
Only we aren't fighting Yankees. We'll be fighting our friends. But remember this. No matter how bitter things get, they're still our friends. And this is still our home.
Is there something you want me to do, Atticus?
Keep your head. Even if things get ugly.
Very good. Very powerful. And just hearing it, I know we've got to wrap up here, but it just highlights how important this story still is. This is a very timely story, even though, it's some years old, but still very important today. So very quickly, how can people get tickets to this? We open tomorrow night at the Little Theater.
Open tomorrow night at Albuquerque Little Theater. Performances are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 7:30 on Friday and Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sundays. Tickets are $18 to $22, and they can call the Albuquerque Little Theater box office to get tickets, and unfortunately I don't have that number memorized.
That's okay,
so
because we will have that on our website at casa.com.
Okay,
just head over to the Casa blog, click on that. Guys, break legs. I know it's going to be a brilliant production. What I saw last night floored me. It was great. So get out and see it this weekend, folks. All right, time now.